Hi, good afternoon, good evening. Today is a Monday, September 10th, 2018. Today is my first show after school started. So I want to welcome everyone on my audience and especially my guests to be on my show today, the Sweet Talk. I'm really happy that Leanna Mullen is here. So my name is Kimatina. I am a Google certified trainer and a top contributor in the CS First Forum now and the Google for Education Help Forum. So I'm really pumped up for that new status and helping out users around the world using CS First now. And I'm so happy to have Leanna here on the show today. Let me minimize my screen to give her a formal introduction that she deserves. She is a manager of district communications at Egg Harbor Township School District in Egg Harbor, New Jersey, and she's an adjunct professor at Cumberland County College. She is also in Wilmington University's doctoral program for organizational leadership, learning, and innovation. Welcome, Leanna.
Thanks, Kim. This has been something I've been looking forward to doing with you for so long, and I mean, I feel like we go back so far, so it's been great. Like setting all this up, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. Leanna and I used to work together. It seems like so long ago.
Yeah.
And we are really good friends and we try to keep in touch when we can. And, she's doing great things with education and in her personal journey with politics. And I'm really proud to say that she's my friend. So she knows, I'm always here for her if she needs me. And I'm just really glad that we were able to connect today. Especially, I know back to school, it's so busy. You're doing your teaching thing at the university, and you're doing a lot of other personal things. So I really appreciate you being on the show today.
For you, Kim, anytime.
So Leanna's going to show how to use Google tools for marketing and branding and her workflow with Egg Harbor Township School District. So I'm going to let Leanna take it over. She's going to share and hopefully help others with this concept. So take it away, Leanna.
Okay. Let's see. So, do I want to start sharing my screen right away? I guess I could do that. Let's see. 1 second. Okay. So, can everybody see me out there? Screen looks okay?
Yeah, you're fine.
Cool. Okay. So I did want to start out by just showing you, probably have our whole screen, so let me make it a little bigger here. This is our district website, and this has been something actually evolving over the last probably 2 years or so, I would say, is when we really started to kick off our branding effort. Kim, you know Steve Santilli very well. So he's over with us now at Egg Harbor Township, and he comes from a business background. So between him and our rest of our new administrators, Kim Gruccio, and John Davis, being a couple of our senior administrators, superintendents, we started by doing the website first. So for me, I've been a Google girl for almost as long as Kim, not quite as long. But I knew that there was a lot of different ways we could do our workflow for putting things on the website, for doing our, we have our local cable access channel, Channel 97. And that's really where one of the positions I had with the township until my recent position. So, just putting information out there. Like we want to be able to tell our own story. And, we have 8 schools in our district. And nearly 8,000 students and I believe 1,300 staff. So you can imagine that even with having as many people involved as there are, there has to be a reasonable workflow for us. So, again, I just wanted to show you what our website looks like. You want to check out our current hashtag, What's in the EHT Egg. That was a fun video we made. But our hashtag EHT Pride, everything you look at on social media is related to hashtag EHT Pride. And I encourage everybody, if they want to check out what we're doing, they can look there. But one of the tools, I just brought up a couple different tabs I thought I could go through. I'm a big fan of Team Drives. Like, I use it for so many different things. from a personal level, I do have 2 different team drives from my doctoral program. This one is just kind of shared with myself and a couple of different user accounts. And actually, I have one with my cohort mates in my doctoral program too. And that's really convenient because then we can share syllabi together. If we're working on group projects, we all know we can just kind of funnel right in there. And even though we come from all different domains, some of us work in education, some of us don't. I started the team drive myself within my school account, and then I was able to share it. And even though they don't have access to team drives with their own accounts, this is one way we were able to work around it. And then also with my adjunct professoring is my non-real word. I have ACC in Cumberland, and same thing. This is shared with a couple of different accounts, so I don't have to worry about logging out, logging in, and it's super easy. I do have some other ones here, but if I were to point out one to you, it's our HTTV video database. So when I took over the TV station about 3 years ago or so, coming into year 4, wow, it's a little crazy. We have, like a lot of districts who have video, a lot of things were on tape or on DVD as time evolved. But there really wasn't an organization system or a way to organize pictures we were receiving or videos that we filmed. And we have high school kids too who are involved in that. And you know, we would never know what happened to footage or where it went, or if there was a database that we could really search for something. We were actually going through physical DVDs to find out what was on them and things like that. So starting in the 15-16 school year, I started making anything that we filmed or made videos for or received pictures for. I started organizing them in this team drive and putting them into folders. So you can see by just going into the 15-16 drive, I have it all organized by the month of which it happened. And then there's folders within that. So obviously we started this at the beginning of the year, but as you'll see, if I show you a more recent folder, there's more content in here. And there's also different reports that I had to give to the board, anything I need to pull up. And, you know, Google's so great about being a searchable database that I don't necessarily need to remember, you know, opening day, and it's going to bring up anything that's labeled opening day. And I've got a little bit better about naming my content so that when I'm searching for something quickly, you'll see that this actually says opening day 2018. Now, granted, this is actually within my personal drive because Google will search inside there too. But I can look and click here and see that this is inside the video database. It's in the 18-19 folder. It's labeled for September, and opening day is in here. So you know, it's a great feature that I'm able to take what people share with me. I make a copy of it and I just dump it in this database. And I also share this with my students too. So if they're working on a project and they need footage for something that happened last year, they're able to go right into this drive. You can see I have 27 members in here, and I give them different rights, you know, depending who I'm sharing things with, and I can give them the full rights or it goes all the way down. So that's one way that I use Drive for everything. And I guess I had just brought up this slide too, just to show you that we use slideshows when we do our professional development. You know, this is one that I worked with Steve Santillion, and I kind of rebranded and made shorter for the recent PLC that Kim and I were both at. And just explained how, you know, branding overall has been such a hot commodity, even in education. You wouldn't think it would have been there. But just looking at this slide real quick, you can see that over time it's shot up, just branding as a term anyway. And this is a graphic I received from Google. So, you know, it was really nice that I was able to make a slideshow. I was able to share with people who were in the present, who sat in on the presentation. It's a public presentation, so you know, I could share a link with anybody, even if they're not in our EHT domain. They're able to access this. And again, you know, I recognize that slides sometimes has limitations with the animation and some of the things that you might think you're missing from PowerPoint, but I embed videos all the time. So having the access to get to YouTube or any of my Google Drive videos that I can just kind of copy the URL and paste it right in here, like this is totally, like, that's worth it to me. So much so that actually for my class that I teach at Cumberland County College, I made this as a Weebly website. I know it's not a Google website, but I came from a Weebly world too. So, but I actually embed all my presentations into this website so the students have access to them. And even more recently, I started making video content that the students could watch that is embedded in the slideshow, which is embedded inside the website. So it's really nice and easy for the students to be able to access. Some things they can see ahead of time, some things they can refer back to. So as far as our workflow for when I was talking about that we're getting all different kinds of information from administrators, from teachers, from support staff, we decided to make a Google form because Google Forms are probably my most favorite tool out of everything in the G Suite. And we actually made this a desktop shortcut on our network. So anyone who happens to work in, we decided to keep this particular one since it's a district level, only for maybe I would say about 50 employees who we think would have direct access or need to post something at the district level. Of course, we have the same build for our high school, which we have over 200 teachers at our high school. So they all have access to a high school version of the same exact form. But they're able to give us their name. In this case, for the district level, they're able to choose what building they belong to, the message they want to put out to applies. So the rotating banner being the thing that's on our homepage, that they'll need a graphic of some sort. Maybe they need to post a whole photo gallery. If there was like a special event that day and they have like 50 some odd pictures, maybe they need a special gallery built. If it's a one item news item kind of thing, that they have like a little short story that went with a picture or two. We also have for our superintendent's report. So once a month, the superintendent, Dr. Gruccio, has me put together video content, so all the different buildings are represented, and that might be something else. So with this message area, we kind of use this for our social media. So if there is a picture and they wanted to put a short message or explain what the picture was about, they could put that here. And they can also leave additional notes for either the webmaster or the TV studio, depending on what they're applying. Follow-up questions, and then one thing that I was waiting so long for Google to do, and I'm so glad they did it, was adding the upload feature. Like, I use this like crazy. So we have a limit of like 1 terabyte. We just set it kind of open that we don't have to worry about the size of pictures or videos. It can add it right in there. Or if they do have a preference and maybe they made a whole Google folder already, they can copy and paste that link into here. And on the back end, I have a whole spreadsheet. I actually set it up with an add-on for automatic notifications, email notifications. And, by default, it's going to give me the important information here. And then I know that I can check inside of my spreadsheet to see, the more details or to get the link to the files that they uploaded. I think the one last thing I was going to mention was how we use Calendar. And for me, Calendar is, I think like a lot of us, especially Google people, we tend to have several different worlds that we're in. So for me, it's like I have my district stuff, I have my personal stuff, I have my doctorate stuff, and I decided to make several different calendars to accommodate all of my life as best I can. So when for the TV station, if I turn all these off and go to week view, for example, these are the things that are actually scheduled for channel 97 to air. So this, I grabbed the iCal URL and I had it embedded into, let's see, right here. So I took the information that I built and it's automatically populated in our TV guide right here. So the outside can see the calendar, but really it's actually built internally from here. And also, I should say that we just started school, so we don't have nearly as much content as we do, come the holidays when all the kids are doing, the different winter shows and stuff like that. But all the same, still works perfectly.
Hey, Leanna, quick question.
Yeah.
When you go back to the website, wait a minute, I'm not seeing it. Hold on. So the TV program guide, is that an agenda list?
It technically is. So we use what's the name of the site? School Messenger is technically who we purchased the website service from. So they allowed me to take a URL from my calendar and be able to bring it into here.
Okay, I thought your TV program guide was like an agenda list from Google Calendar. I like that format.
Yeah, it technically is. So if they were to click on this, it does have the same information in here that was automatically populated from here.
Right, right.
So it pushes, I think, every 15 minutes or so it updates. So if I have something, it'll come right automatically into here. And
I
then
like
you can
that.
still
That's
see it on
nice.
calendar too.
Really nice.
So,
That's nice.
nice. But I think that was pretty much it. I just, I'm a real big fan of everything Google. I'm a fan of everything Kim Bettina does. So I just thought I'd share
You're
a little
so
bit
funny.
of, what we're doing here. And we put our day rotation because we are on a 4-day cycle. So I just put it in there. I put in, we do have staff that I work with as well. So he's a part-time employee and I put in the hours that he works so we can both reflect on that. And I mean, even for my doctoral stuff too, I have ongoing multi-day calendar that shows what class I'm in since we rotate every 7 weeks. And that is my life on Google right there, calendar.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm the same way. I have too many calendars, too many calendars, too many accounts. So I do like how you used Team Drive with the staff so that you can share like your pictures or any kind of documents, whatever is going on. I like how you incorporated the Team Drive into your workflow also. And then on the forum, of course, I know you wanted that upload file feature years ago.
Yes,
And we
I was
talked
waiting
about
so
this.
long. Yes.
Yeah, we talked about this. We found a different tool, but it was like a third party
Yep.
tool and
Yep.
I think it was Form Plus.
Yep. I think you're right. I think that's what
Yeah,
it's called. Yeah.
I think so. So, but it is nice to have the upload feature because it just everything lives right in your drive, and it actually creates the folder. So whatever the question is, that's
Yep.
the folder that gets created, and then everything gets put into that folder. So it's a nice workflow as far as the folder structure. It's very easy to find, and I use it too all the time. It's just a lifesaver.
And actually, it's funny you bring up that particular thing that I was looking so long for that upload feature because I'm pretty sure it was a DocAppender that maybe, no, not DocAppender. One of the add-ons will allow you to bring in the picture if it is a file that they uploaded and actually bring it in as a autocrat mail merge. Is it autocrat maybe I'm
It
thinking
was,
of?
yeah, AutoCrat.
I think, yeah.
That's a sheet add-on.
Yep. Yeah, that's it. We do every year. We do a senior ambassador application, and the students apply with a selfie picture. And we wanted something that would be nice and fast, that it would actually pull the image and bring it in. And I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
That's what it is.
It's yeah, AutoCAD. And you can automatically have it sized, so you can make a template, like where you want the picture to go, and it's so beautiful. Google's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, and that AutoCrat, I mean, we used it for the PLC conference, doing automated workflows with emailing people and then providing them with their professional development certificate. There's a dozen possibilities that you can use AutoCrat with. It's simple mail merge, and then you can attach PDF files and set it up to go, different ways, but that's a whole nother program. And then the Google Calendar. So when you get requests from people and just say they want a recurring post, do you use the calendar to schedule that, to remind you that you need to post that like maybe once a week? Or because I know how Steve is, once a week he wants the same thing posted,
Yeah, no, it's funny. It's funny you mentioned that because we're in the middle of kind of transitioning because until recently it had been mostly Steve doing our social media. So now with this new position that I'm fortunate enough to be in, we're kind of working on that workflow. We're going to be using Hootsuite, but we need to get a paid account. So until then, we've been kind of taking turns just logging in. But that's definitely a good idea to be able to kind of set reminders or a task list or something of which ones need to go out when.
Yeah, because I mean, it just makes sense. If you have the calendar, you could just schedule it, and then, if you get the paid version of Hootsuite, you'll end up starting to just put all that information in Hootsuite. you know, and then Hootsuite will just schedule it out automatically. So you don't even have to worry about it. But like you said, until then, because it's hard to keep track of everyone's posts and when they want it to go out, if they want a recurrent post. And
Mm-hmm.
it's, if you're the only one doing it, you got to have some type of calendar system or whatnot, either
Sure. Yeah.
Hootsuite or Google Calendar, you know. So that's really cool. I do like the website. The website looks really good.
Nice. I can't
Really
really, I mean,
nice.
of course we have a service, but, we manage it pretty well, I think, and keep with the color scheme and that whole bit.
Yeah, and
And
it gives it gives the information that you're presenting. You know, it's kind of clean cut, you know, information. It's not too cluttered. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
I really like that layout on the TV guide. That's a really nice feature to have.
certainly.
So it's all good. So when you post, do you use a specific hashtag?
Yeah, for anything that's related to Egg Harbor Township, we always do hashtag EHT Pride. That's been going on for a long time, but of course, now that we're doing this big social media push, and also we started making all of our school usernames the same because we had some inconsistencies, even down to the eagle they were using. We just got a branded eagle, so even that has hashtag EHT Pride. All the accounts with anything with Egg Harbor Township is EHTNJ, and then whatever the rest of the handle is. So for our TV station, it's at EHTNJ, EHTTV. Same thing with the schools, at EHTNJ schools, or at EHTNJ HS for the high school, things like that.
Okay, that's good. And then, so the hashtag is used throughout all the buildings, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what did you have to do to make sure no one else was using that hashtag?
Well, that is a good question. I mean, it's been so long that it's been in place that that even predates me being at EHT. And we're really lucky that that's not something that anybody's at this point, knock on wood, tried to hijack so far. But I've seen other ones where they've done proud to be EHT. And that sort of thing. But we just keep it consistent that, everything we post includes that somewhere. Of course, there's other smaller ones, like we have the Communications Academy at the high school. So they'll also do hashtag EHT Com Academy. But no matter what, we always put hashtag EHT Pride in there too.
Yeah, because that's an important piece to mention also, because you want to make sure that everything's consistent. And then when you look at that hashtag, whether it's on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or whatnot, you can always follow that conversation just using that hashtag. And one last question I have: what social media platforms are you guys on?
Well, actively, we of course have Facebook, Twitter. We just launched our Instagram for the school district, and we do use LinkedIn, but that's more for human resources and that sort of thing. So at this point, we're kind of consistently posting, at least on Facebook and Twitter, that no matter what we're posting on those two, with Hootsuite and just from scheduling, we have it that those messages are the same throughout. And then we tend to do our job postings and things with LinkedIn, and then we may also decide to post it through our other channels, but we don't necessarily put a job posting on Instagram because we know that that's not where they're the kids on Instagram.
The audience is not the adults.
Exactly. Yeah, like catering the audience. We also have done a little bit of research about, knowing our audience and when to post. So, we certainly don't want to be posting something that we really want parents to see at maybe 10 o'clock in the morning, because a lot of them are either at work or a little too busy going on with their day to be able to catch something. So if you really want to catch parents, you want to get them when they're waking up, which is like, and I'm guilty of it. My alarm goes off. My alarm is my phone. I roll out of bed, and the first thing I do is scroll through Facebook. So, and I imagine that's common throughout, especially if you have kids, that you got that little bit of me time, and then you're going to start running around getting them ready. So, early morning, like 6:30, 7 o'clock is really when you want to start getting the parents. And then there is a little bit of time around 12, 1 o'clock when people are eating lunch. Same thing with the high school kids too. If you have a message or you want to go out to the high school kids, you want to try to gear that around to when they're eating lunch in the lunchroom, because the first thing they're going to do is pull out their phone. Or my favorite time is right when they get off the bus at like 2:50, or right on the bus at like 2:15, 2:30, because they haven't had Wi-Fi all day with their social media channels. So the very first thing they're going to do is bring out their phone. So, and we can see the success of that with the analytics and things like that. So, certainly it's a proven model that we're definitely fine tuning.
Yeah, no, it's always you always have to tweak that workflow. That's a big job. So it's all good. But so do you have any more things that you want to add to your workflow? Any other comments,
Well, you definitely brought up a good point
suggestions?
about incorporating the calendar feature into our post. I think that's something we definitely could. And if anybody's watching the video and has suggestions for us, I'm very open minded to what other people are using. I hope you would share, because I would do the same for you.
Oh, definitely. Well, that's why we do the show, so it's
Yeah.
all good. I know I'll be involved somehow or another with my new school doing the website and
Mhm.
different things with social media too. So,
Which, congratulations if no one said it to you formally yet.
well, thank you. Yeah, I'm like really excited. It's all good.
No,
Um,
Galloway's very lucky.
yeah, thanks. I think I'm lucky too. But yeah, so we definitely could bounce off each other and try to improve or get something tweaked or worked out or make it better, some type of workflow where it'll make our job more efficient. Because you want to work smarter, not harder. That's the ultimate goal. Because really, this position, the social media position, there's a lot of responsibility. You have to end up monitoring, parents, they leave private messages or if they comment. So you're always monitoring the activity of the social media account. And if that person needs attention, hopefully you can give that parent or guardian the correct guidance. But it's a big job. But in the end, I really think it's worthwhile because you're communicating information about your school to the community, and you're communicating news and good things that are going on in your school. And I think at this time of our in our in society with school and things, there's so many negativity. I think that showing off the positive parts of what students are doing is always refreshing, and it's a good thing, and the
Yeah, we
students
definitely
deserve
have
it.
some great news to share, and having this channel for people to be able to get that out, and using the expertise we have within the district to know when to post it, to know how to get the message out, I think is really important. I think one more thing too, for people who, I mean, I'm not in a traditional teacher role in what I'm doing now, or even leading up to it, I really haven't been. But I think that if anyone has like been on the border of whether they should just stick with their Microsoft products that they feel confident with, or making the jump, I mean, there's just so many positive, like useful, like I can't even put into words how much my workflow has gotten better as like spreadsheets, a perfect example. Like not having to worry about what version that everybody's working on when you send an email out. Like it, I just think that there's maybe it's underutilized outside of the regular teacher positions. And I think that if more office administration, or even beyond education, just in the business world, if they realized how much better they'd be able to get their tasks done, definitely, I'm a big advocate for that.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it's a mindset too. Like people just don't like change,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard, because I'm not putting Microsoft Office down or anything. I think it's a great product, but and there's some things in there that do perform better than other apps in the Google world. But for our purposes, just living in the cloud is just makes my life much easier, like you said. And the business world, I'm not sure. I mean, it's a mindset, I think, and people don't like change. So if they don't need to change, they're not going to change.
Sure, of
They're
course.
getting their job done, and they're using Excel and Word, and they're good with that. Me, no, I'd rather just use Google Apps. But hey, it's a preference. It's all good. So, with that being said, I am going to share some information with you. So, let me go back here. Hold on. I have to share my screen. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
All right. So if you would like to be a guest, or actually, if you would like to contact me, you can email me at sweettalkshow@gmail.com. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel at bit.ly/the Sweet Talk channel. And you can go to my website and find older episodes at bit.ly/the Sweet Talk website. And I am proud to say that my show is now a podcast. That was one of my things that I did this summer that I taught myself. So the Sweet Talk is on Podbean and on Google Play Music. So you can subscribe there and listen to my show in the car while you're driving to work.
Awesome.
And if you wanted to visit my website, you can go over to the episodes tab. And on this page here, I will have the show notes and the YouTube link for the show tonight. If you'd like to be a guest on my show, simply go to the guest page and fill out this form for me, and I will get back to you as soon as I can, and we can try to schedule an appearance for you. All right, I'm back. So with that being said, that concludes the show today. And I want to thank my audience for watching and tuning in. And I want to thank Leanna for being on. Thank you for taking the time. I know you're a busy lady, and I'm really happy that you were on my show today.
Absolutely. Anytime, anytime.
All right. I will see you next time. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.